Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about breaking bad money beliefs. When you are on your soul-led path, it is so important to focus on positive momentum towards expanding your finances, expanding your wealth, and allowing yourself to know that you can achieve more financially. And you can expand in your wealth, you can expand in your abundance, and you can allow yourself to dream bigger and dream into spaces and places that maybe you haven't allowed yourself the space to accept within your being, or maybe even allow yourself to envision in such a big way. Sometimes what can happen upon the soul destined path is that there can be deep rooted beliefs that it is hard and difficult to manifest on the soul destined path the financial wealth and abundance that you desire. So one of the biggest beliefs that is rooted in this journey on your soul destined path is that money inherently has a bad or evil or corrupt nature. So this is really important to look at here, and we're going to unpack this together because this is going to clear out from your system probably years and years of conditioning that have been there upon your path as you've been wanting to expand in more abundance and wealth and prosperity. But having this idea or belief in your mind that it might actually be wrong, or that money is evil or corrupt in any way, even if it's that's very subtle within your system, or whether that is a strong belief that you hold, either way, it's going to affect your finances. So for example, my father growing up had a very strong belief that money and the top 1% are very greedy, are very evil. And so I was constantly told growing up that essentially having wealth is associated to being evil in a way, and that it's bad and that it's wrong. So I didn't have the desire at all for my entire upbringing to really be attracted to wealth or expand my finances. And so that really wasn't on my radar whatsoever. And I listened over and over and over again to the fact that money was inherently evil. And this isn't only something that affected me in my life, it affects many people, especially beings on their soul destined path. I can't tell you how many people that I've come into contact with on the path that have been students of mine or clients of mine who have really struggled with feeling and knowing and accepting that, yes, you can have more. You can have more abundance. You can have more wealth. You can have more expansion in that area of your life. And so let's just have the conversation and clear the air around this. Can be a heavy topic, especially because I know it's impacted you in your life. Because even if you feel, I don't really feel that affects me, I think I'm okay with having money, with making money, and expanding in my money. Maybe you're that person. And that's awesome if you already feel that you are free of this. But let me tell you why this is affecting you on a subconscious level in the collective. Because it's actually affecting every single person on the planet. It even affects billionaires, it affects millionaires, it affects 100 millionaires, it affects 10 millionaires, it affects people in the middle class, it affects people that are in poverty. And the reason behind this and the reason why this work is so important to me is because Essentially, what occurs when a belief is strong within a collective field, it is affecting the astral light. Now, the astral light, for some of you that may not know, is the energy and the vibration that is happening within the spaces that you cannot see. But some people can see the astral light. I can see the astral light around me. And in specific areas, geographical areas, the astral light will be stronger, okay? And this affects every single person on the planet, whether you believe in it or not. It is still affecting you in your life. Now, the astral light is charged by belief. So if you are in a very opulent place, in a very opulent city, in a very opulent neighborhood, that area is charged with the belief in having more, in opulence, in abundance, in the ability to have. And what it doesn't have within it, or what it has less of, I should say, because there's levels and spectrums within this space, is that there's a very low belief that it's not possible. How do you know that's true? Because the physical reality will reflect the exact manifestation itself. So an opulent neighborhood, an opulent area, an opulent building reflects that opulence. And that means that those people have eradicated from their mentality, to at least for sure a greater degree than beings who live in more middle class or lower areas of abundance. And how do you know? Because everything is constantly directly reflecting. So those direct reflections are constantly showing you, okay, this mentality exists here. Now, when you are in an opulent space and a wealthier space, internally and externally, what that's going to reflect in that environment is that belief system. So that belief system is in a collective sphere and an individual sphere. And those individual and collective beliefs are fueling the environment with that belief system. So that empowers the astral light, which is, in other words, the energy around the spaces, into a vortex of wealth, into a vortex of abundance, into a vortex of the power which creates those worlds of opulence, of wealth, of abundance, of beauty, of refinement, of exquisite nature. So all of those beliefs between the individual, between the collective, and that dance of reality becomes a vortex in and of itself, a spiraling vortex which create more and more of those beliefs and attract more and more of those beings to those specific places. So this belief that occurs of there never being, or specifically, we'll talk about the other one next, specifically of wealth being inherently evil. What this does is it completely strips power, which this is a belief within the entire collective to certain degrees. Most people to some degree have and hold this belief. That's why you see such a split in, middle class, poor, and wealthy individuals. Why? It's because the dominant belief is that there's something inherently wrong and evil with the relationship with money. And so this creates a repulsion in the beings that believe this. And even if you are one of the people that say, no, I feel like I'm free of this, but your reality isn't reflecting that, then this is showing that there is a belief within you on a subtle level that somehow feels it is greedy or wrong to have a certain amount, or that you can't have a certain amount of wealth and finances within your experience, that it's inherently wrong in some way. So it doesn't matter where you are at on your financial journey, but what matters is that you are able to discern for yourself these energies, right? That's why we're having the conversation, so that you can discern it from yourself, seeing, wait, I do hold a subtle belief that maybe I shouldn't have more. That maybe I shouldn't have more, that I have enough, okay? And that maybe possibly it's evil or wrong to want more. You know, something else that backs this up is, well, there's so many people that don't have more, that are poor or that are impoverished or that can't feed themselves. This is usually a supporting energy of this, okay? And what that thought does is that thought even stops those who are impoverished, okay? Let's say there are people who live in third world countries who don't have enough. This doesn't empower them either. Why? Because who would they look to break the mental patterns which keep them impoverished? Okay, then they wouldn't have guides or people to learn from. Okay, so it doesn't really, the statement saying, well, what about all those other people that don't have anything, for example? How would that help those people make more? Okay, so it doesn't help those people transform their situation or experience, and it doesn't fuel any self-belief that anything is possible and they can also transform those experiences. Okay, because anything is possible to create if the belief is there that anything is possible to create, and that if the belief is no longer held that it is evil or wrong to have more wealth, more abundance, and more prosperity. So this belief, what I want you to do is I want you to check within your system, and I want you to see, how am I holding this belief that it's wrong for me to have more? That it's wrong for me to want or desire more. So this self-inquiry will change your relationship and flush out the pollution, the actual pollution that it is creating on your system, so that you can begin opening yourself to receive more. So this will clear out this pollution so you can see, because if you can see it, where you have this in your system and that you do hold this belief to even the most subtle degrees, you will be able to completely revolutionize and transform your finances through this. So this is absolutely necessary on your path of expanding in more abundance. Find out where you have it and how to transmute and alchemize this feeling or this belief that money and wealth and expanding in your finances is inherently evil or inherently wrong. Well, first you have to be able to see why it is wrong. So if you believe that you are a good person and that you have gifts to share with the world, if you can't expand in your finances and your wealth and your abundance, and you are struggling with that expansion, or you feel a block or limitation with that expansion, how could you possibly expand in the world to a great degree without investing in the way that you will need to expand your gifts and your ideas and your highest vision into the world? You will not be able to without the finances. You need finances as a catalyst for expansion. It's an absolute necessity. So you have to invest first in yourself, in your own transformation, and you have to invest to bring your work to the world, which is required, right? Your time, your energy, your blood, sweat, and tears as you go through all the different processes that you will. And it's going to require your wealth to put yourself out there and to allow yourself to expand through wealth. So this is going to be the first thing that you can look at and say, yeah, that's true. I do need to expand myself by putting my work out into the world and investing in myself, investing in putting myself out in the world. And all of that is going to take money. And so when you just look at that simple fact, when you're on your soul destined path, you have to invest in yourself in order for you to expand in your inner transformation and in your outer transformation by manifesting and actualizing your soul destined path in the world. So that is all going to take money. So that is a simple fact. If you really look at that, what is that going to do? It's immediately going to pop a hole in your belief, even if it's subtle, like we talked about, that making money is wrong or inherently evil in some way. Because you see, well, your gifts are incredible. Of course they need to go out into the world. Of course, that's why you are here. That is your mission on the planet. So this will motivate you and fuel you to pop that bubble of belief. So what you're going to do to continue completely diffusing that money is evil or wrong, or there should even be a cap on what you can make and create for yourself. I believe, at least for me, one of the biggest motivating factors for myself on my personal path, and it might help you, is that without money, without the money present, it's much more difficult to expand. It's much more difficult for my soul's work to expand on the planet. Okay, so for example, for my work to go out globally, and that is my desire, then I must invest money to expand myself into the world. So the more you find these reasons, no matter how small or how big, they are going to completely diffuse that feeling, idea, or belief that money is somehow evil. And remember that all money, wealth, and abundance is reflecting is your belief system about it. So this is why I created the Serpent Magick Academy and Master Manifestation Magic, so that you can transform and alchemize all these different limiting beliefs that stop you from manifesting your soul destiny on the planet and stop you from creating the wealth you desire, which comes from your soul destined work. So when you allow yourself to diffuse this idea that money is inherently evil, and the second point here we're going to talk about is how you can only have a certain amount. So for the first point, you have to keep diffusing it by the alchemy in way that I taught you. The second one, you're going to do the same, but this is about that you can only make a certain amount. So if you feel, okay, I make this much a month, this much a year, this is what I'm used to, I'm okay with having this. What that does is perpetuate an experience of feeling comfortable with having a certain amount and allowing that to continually perpetuate because you have been accustomed to living in that way. But when you allow yourself to look at your belief system and say, okay, do I really believe that I can only have that amount? Or even better, why am I allowing myself to only have that amount? Then you start turning the tables and you start shaking things up of what you have been allowing into your experience, which allows you to remove the veil and unpack it of how much you can truly have. So take a minute right now to write down, if you can, or put in your phone, either write down or put in your phone how much you would like to make on a daily basis. Write down the exact number, on a monthly basis, and on a yearly basis. And I want you to stretch yourself beyond where you normally let yourself go, because this is where you can stop. And this is where you can say, oh, I don't need to do that. I can just expand into more. No, you need to write down a specific number. Why? Because a specific number is an exact vibration. So when you write down the number, you are actually connecting with the exact vibration that you desire. And when you write down that vibration, what's actually happening within your system is that your system is reading the numbers and it begins to match you with that exact vibrational current. Okay? And so what happens once you write it down is that that exact vibrational current begins to start attracting ideas, inspiration, and openings within your field that allow you to connect with those exact numbers that you had written down and bring them into your reality, reel them into your reality by what inspired actions you desire to take. Not only does it do this, but it also breaks and pops that bubble that says you can only have this much. It pops a hole within that bubble and you are directly writing down, no, I believe I can have this. I'd rather have this, whatever you write down. So allow yourself to do these two alchemical processes today. It would be best right after the video because you are in the vibration for it. It's always best to take action right when you are in the vibration of it. So already alchemy has occurred within you as you've tuned into this, but now what you're going to do is take these actions. So this second part is about writing it down. Next, I want you to write down the inspirations that are coming through for you to do, because these inspirations are directly connected to those exact numbers that you are desiring to meet and to manifest within your reality. So know that everything is connected into a network of manifestation. So when you, for example, you are tuning into this right now. So you are tuning into the opulence frequency of the quantum now. So right now you are in the vortex of the wealth frequency of the quantum now. So this is when the energies are ripe for you to write down your best ideas, whatever is coming to mind, whatever the juiciest energy that's coming to mind for you to do. And then the next best thing for you to do is to take your radical aligned action and to move the energy into those actions, which are creating that new reality through you. So whenever you begin to move like this, what happens is you will feel energized, you will feel excited, and you will be flowing the energy in the right direction, creating the exact manifestations that you desire. So the more you stay in this frequency, the more you become exact with what you desire, knowing that there is no cap on what you can create. There's no ceiling on what you can create. And feeling into your body, your emotional body of how does this feel to you, allowing yourself to do any inner work necessary of release, to open your heart, to open yourself, you are going to only continuously rise in your magnetism, continuously rise in your ability to attract, and your ability to attract in the quantum now, which is completely different than attracting on a linear timeline. Linear timelines are slow. Linear timelines don't feel good because they're not natural to the present moment, which is the quantum now. The quantum now is fresh, it's alive, it's in the moment, and it attracts in the here and now. This is why when you begin moving in this vortex of the quantum now, you begin manifesting at a higher speed because you are responding to the moment. You're not responding to the past. You're responding to what is here and now and fresh. So you are always in this space manifesting your highest potential in the quantum now. So I hope you enjoyed this transmission, and I wish you the best energy towards your wealth manifestation in the quantum now.